Hello and welcome back to We Talk Boxing. So this is my pre-fight breakdown between five-time world champion Gervonta Davis versus Rolando Romero, who is currently unbeaten and the mandatory challenger for Davis's titles. Having watched all the 24/7 access between both fighters and some of their previous earlier fights, my predictions for this fight is that it's going to be a very tough fight between both fighters. Um, both fighters are literally prodigies from the Mayweather gym. And I guess, at some point, within their stay at the gym, they would have done some sort of sparring between each other. And that's potentially why they literally despise each other. They don't really like each other, really, do they? Um, but anyway, as I said, potentially, my thoughts are that this is going to be an explosive fight between both fighters. Both fighters seem very confident, and they both look in incredible shape. So they have been putting the work in the gym as well, for this fight. So they've been taking it serious as well. In regards to both of their boxing records as well, Rolando has currently had 14 bouts with 12 KOs to his name, whereas Gervonta, has had 26 bouts with 24 KOs. So both fighters, instantly shout out that, they're big punchers. Their KO records are very good. So both guys do carry dynamite in their hands, and I wouldn't be surprised as well if we see a couple of knockdowns in this fight before it is eventually stopped. I definitely can't see this fight going the distance. Um, However, I do believe that Gervonta Davis, is the all-round better rounded boxer. As he's got a good defense coming forward. He throws good combinations, and he doesn't always overload with his shots as well. And he's got good speed along with power. So, I personally believe that he's the better boxer of the two. Whereas Rolando, again, is a good boxer, but some of the fights that I've seen, he overcommits quite a lot to his shots. And again, just putting way too much power, overloading with his punches, way too much power, and often missing by a clear mile or two. However, obviously, as his record suggests, if he does hit you, it's night night. So he does carry that power. Another concern for me over him is that his work ethic isn't the highest. And he often throws shots between ones and twos. He doesn't really put too much combination work together. But as I said, I can't see this fight going the distance. I think the winner of this fight is gonna win because of one or two of two things really, and that's defense and durability. So for me, the person who's got the better defense on the way out, because as I've mentioned, Davis is very good with his defense coming forward. He keeps his hands nice and high, throws his shots, combinations, etc. But on the way out, what I have seen from both guys is that as they step back, to kind of retreat and gather their thoughts and to rethink about their shots, both guys often do get caught with the overhand right. And it's not just Davis as well. Like I said, I've watched a few fights from both fighters, and they often do get caught with the overhand right. And at times, again, from their record suggest, if they are dropping the hands and when they're coming out, we could see a knockout, really. But again, that durability, we seen obviously Davis versus Santa Cruz. Obviously, Davis took some good shots in that fight. Even against Cruz as well. Oscar Isaac Cruz. Again, he took some big shots in that fight. So again, he is durable. So he can take a punch or two. Whereas we haven't really seen that from Rolando's career at present. So again, that'd be very important to see how he does handle a big puncher as well in Davis. But like I says, both boxers have demonstrated good power throughout their fights to date. But you know what I mean. It's going to be interesting, really. I think the positives and the biggest punches that both fighters carry, Davis wise, you know what I mean, it's that uppercut. You know what I mean? He tries to land a big uppercut on most of his opponents. So again, he might try and switch it up this time. You know what I mean? It might be, you know what I mean, maybe a hook, you know what I mean, rather than the uppercut, because obviously Rolando knows that as well. Has been mimicking him throughout the press conferences, and especially through the 24/7 access as well. He's been taking the piss really out of that uppercut. So he might be watching out for that. But that, for me, that is Gervonta's best shot. Whereas with Rolando, his best shot is the left uppercut. And again, you know what I mean, Davis hasn't really said much about that shot in his press conferences, but I guarantee him and his team would have done their homework, and like, they will be watching out for that left hook of Rolando, just to make sure that it doesn't catch him, because it's more of a big swinging left hook rather than a close range hook, which often catches people out as well. So yeah, so that's their best big shots from both guys. And finally, now I'm just going to finish off with my prediction for the fight. Like I said, I can't see it going the full distance. I do believe the fight will end with between 4 and 6 rounds, but I think, you know what I mean, overall, I think Davis is going to take it. I think there's going to be a couple of knockdowns by both guys potentially, but I think overall, you know what I mean, I think Davis will come out the victor. As I said, between 4 and 6 rounds as well. However, if the fight does end up going the distance, you know what I mean, I'll be shocked. But I still think Davis will win. You know what I mean, mainly by knockout. But if it does go the difference, if it does, it will be Davis who would get who would claim the victory. I think, you know what I mean, overall, you know what I mean, the Mayweather camp, you know what I mean, they've got more going on him than Romero really. But that's just my thoughts. Anyway, please subscribe and leave a comment below. Like, who do you guys think is the better boxer? Who do you think is going to win? Do you think there's going to be any sort of controversy, any sort of knockdowns? Please leave your thoughts and comments below. Bless.